Hey guys, it's Amanda and Baron, and we are back again with Kickin Cancer Cares. Our sponsor for the second half is Venti's Cafe. They are probably one of my favorite restaurants. I just went out there last week with one of my nephews, and as I told you, I'm working on my portion controls and setting boundaries with myself. And I'm somebody that I really enjoy a lot of the things on the menu at Venti. So I'm like, I'll take this, I'll take that, and I'll take this. And me and my family, we like to do more of like a restaurant or a family style, like where you get a bunch of things and then everyone just eats off of it.
Yep.
I was really proud of myself. I just got a small order of the sweet potato fries with the coconut and honey drizzled on top of it with their fresh sauce that they make in-house. It was so good. And I didn't overdo it because I always overdo it. I love their nachos with their pepper or their spicy jackfruit meat. Oh my gosh, it's to die for. Their vegan cheese, so good. I will eat 5 orders of that, no problem. Put it down real quick. Feel like crap afterwards because I'm so bloated and full. So I was really proud of myself. I'm like, I'll take a half order of your sweet potato fries. And I did really well.
And you did well.
But they have so many options on here that are so good. Their new one is their yellow curry soup that they brought back.
Oh, yeah.
It is so good, and it's over a bed of rice. Or they have it like in a bowl, and then they have rice on the side. I dumped the rice inside of it and just kind of mixed it together. Yeah, it was delicious. So they've got a lot of good options. So definitely check them out.
And we appreciate Dino's support for the second half of the show, too.
Yes, big time.
Well, we've got Russ kind of talking about his current book, and we'll remind the listeners again, there's a book signing today at 10 o'clock?
Saturday at 10 to 7.
10 to 7.
On Saturday,
yeah. And it's going to be in Albany at
the Willamette Valley Christian Supply.
Yeah.
Yep, in the Heritage Mall.
So as soon as the show gets done, go on over and watch.
Yes.
Find me.
Well, actually, it'll be so.
Yes.
It is today.
Yeah.
That's right. Today. What am I thinking? That is so. Thank you.
Because we're pre-recording, Russ.
I know. I'm so excited for that too. I'm going to get this straight. I love the eyes. So yes, today it is today.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And very excited about that. And like I had said, not only my new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, but also my previous books. So I have 6 total, and there's many other authors and great stuff at Willamette Valley Christian Supply.
So there's going to be other authors there besides you.
Yes, and it's going to be just really great. I mean, great time to Christmas shop. Support local, right? We talk about supporting local.
Yep.
I'm telling you, Christian bookstores are a dying breed. Bookstores in general are a dying breed.
Really are.
Amazon has taken over the world, and hey, good for them. I mean, they've done what they can do, and everybody, but hey, we need to support our local people. And so, I mean, it would be a great time.
People can get your book on Amazon.
Yes.
But it'd be nice to go into see you and get it straight from you.
I'm happy if you get it anywhere, but I would really love if you go get it from Kevin and Krista at Willamette Valley Christian Supply.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
That'd be
cool.
cool.
I'd like to dive into a couple of the chapters here in your book, Russ. So first off, again, for the ones that are listening on the radio, Life Happens and Then You Choose. There's the book right there.
Okay.
So that's actually the name of your first chapter, Life Happens and Then You Choose. Why did you pick that title? Why did you pick that name for the book?
Well, it was actually, so the book number 1 was my beautiful wife's suggestion. Book number 2 was my co-host of 3 of my live streams. So I do a lot of live streaming and podcasting, and my co-host of 3 of them, I was always saying, and life happens and then you choose. And he's like, dude, that is your next book, because you say that all the time. The 2 biggest phrases I have are life happens and then you choose, and God's not done with me yet, which you notice are both in the first 5 chapters.
Yeah.
So that is because that is the true theme of this book. And I thought, why not start off with the premise of life happens and then you choose as a chapter too, and actually talk it through, because I think it builds on the rest of the book, because that's really what the book is all about.
Yeah.
Basically, the fact is, I talk about major things that have happened in my life, but we all have stuff. We all have things going on. And so life is happening every day, and then we're making choices. Where are we going from there? Because we always get the choice of what we do with what happens to us. We get to choose how we think about it, how our perspective is in regards to that. What is our next step based on what just happened to us. Everything, we always choose that. We get to choose our actions. So we got to be ready. And so that's why life happens and then you choose.
Which is a great title for a
Yeah.
chapter. And I'm looking at the first chapter here, and you start by saying, I have cancer with a question mark. My mind reeled with my doctor's words, am I going to die and leave my family so soon? Every single day, life happens, and then you choose.
That's right. And, I am a positive, upbeat guy. And so what happened to me was when I heard I had cancer, it's always a little shocking, right?
Yeah.
I pretty much thought maybe that was the case, though, because what had started as what we thought was a wart on the bottom of my foot had become the size of a quarter in black. And so it looked pretty daunting. And so, but they told me, oh, we're going to cut this off and have my foot with it. And then we should be able to get it. We're going to take margins around it. We should be okay. And I'm thinking, great, that's awesome. But just in case, we're going to do lymph node mapping and take a lymph node just to make sure where if it might have gone into your lymph system, we're going to check it out. And that was when it became a little more daunting. I went from 2A to 3C when they found a tumor in my groin, in one of the lymph nodes. Yeah.
So the second chapter, you talk about overcoming fears and challenges.
Yeah.
What exactly do you dive into in that chapter, Russ?
Well, I mean, fear could be a life
It can be
stopper.
paralyzing. It can be paralyzing.
It can
really
be paralyzing.
can.
It can be a life stopper. Yeah. And I think people need to realize that everybody is scared. I mean, I'm a big believer and a man of faith. And I think that God tells us not to fear so many times, not because he knows we're never going to fear. If we listen to God, we will never fear. No, he tells us that because he knows we're all going to fear.
Yeah.
Part of the human
so
condition.
This is, and so basically he's saying, don't worry about it. I've got this for you. And so what I have learned is, and I talk a little bit about different things, is that not letting fear overcome you, because your circumstances and what's happening to you don't define your life, and they're not the last word. And so you can overcome fear. That's where courage comes in. Courage is overcoming fear in spite of the fear itself, right? Finding something more important than the fear itself. And so I think that's really important. I use a lot of scripture in there, but I also use a lot of quotes, and I have tons of amazing authors and quotes in there, and including one of my amazing endorsements that's right on the back, Bob Goff, who is a New York Times bestselling author. And I've got a couple quotes in there from him as well, because, really, life is a decision. Are we going to let the fear overtake us, and are we going to shut down, or are we going to take the next step?
Right.
Move forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I like your quote in the back. I want to read this. It says, life doesn't always go the way you planned, but Russ reminds us that a response can rewrite the ending.
Okay.
His words point us back to God, who turns detours into divine appointments.
Amen.
Pretty nice endorsement there.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I like what you said in the third chapter here. Life can change in an instant. Boy, that is so true with your life, with the cancer diagnosis and the life that you've been going.
And that chapter is mostly about my car accident, actually, although there's other things in there, because that was an instantaneous thing as well. I mean, they all were. There was an instant in everything that happened to me. The car accident, though, was when I was 19 years old. I was outside on a sunny day. I was golfing. And then I went to drive home and got hit by a truck going 60 miles an hour on a highway and ended up life-flighted to Emmanuel Hospital in Portland.
So was it a head-on collision?
It was, no, he hit me from the side. It's long story, because I don't have memory for 2.5 weeks from that.
Right.
But what they surmised was it was technically my fault. I went out onto the highway, was hit by a car going 60 miles an hour. They think that either the car malfunctioned or I blacked out. Is the best what they came up with, only because when most people do something like, let's say you spaced and you just happened to fly out into traffic, the first thing anybody's going to do is either slam the brakes on or turn the wheel or freak out and do something. Right? I made no no movements. I didn't move the car. I didn't touch the brakes, nothing. And then I got hit by this
Weird.
car. So, and I actually didn't slow down. So I actually flew over a railroad track that was kind of a bump down onto the highway. And I kind of went onto the highway. And so they're thinking I either passed out or the car malfunctioned.
Which was actually to your benefit by not having the ability to react to the
Right.
situation.
Yes, because then it could have caused even more problems.
That's
with being
absolutely right.
tense and all of that.
Yeah. And it was a car accident where people that passed it thought that the person there never made
Stand,
it.
yeah,
it
stand
was
a
it was
chance.
definitely a blessing of God that I made it through that.
So that's why you say life changes in an instant.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
That
what
one
that
there.
one is all about. And that's quite a story. And then, 2 chapters later, this is what I really try to come to in chapter 5, and that's God's not done with me yet. So as the book progresses, it gives more positive outlets to things that are happening in your life.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that people don't realize. I love Chip Ingram. He wrote a book. It's the divine equation.
Okay.
And the divine equation is your circumstances plus your perspective equals your experience. What does that mean? How I feel about my experience of life. If I feel like I'm having a great life, people ask me, how's your life? Awesome. I am blessed and highly favored, and I love my family, and I'm so thankful and grateful for life. And they're like, great, what's happened in the last 3 years? Well, I've had cancer, my parents have died, and I almost died. And you're grateful for life? Well, yes, because it's how I look at things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's going to have stuff, and I don't pretend to have a corner on bad things happening and Mr. Bubbly, positive, mindset. I just have chosen that, and I joke a lot of times because we all have stuff going on, and I say that God, it's an unfair advantage God gave me because I had that perspective in my life, that mindset. I had a mama who was the happiest person alive. And she was like me. I'm my mama's son. She was happy and singing, and life was a joy. And so I became that kind of person. And so, and it's funny because when in this book also I talk about both my parents going to heaven. Mama, she had Alzheimer's and went through several years with that. And we used to do laps around her memory care and sing and laugh and have fun. And she would say something and I would say something back, and neither of us had any idea what we were talking about, but we were happy.
You were in the moment.
That's right. We were happy. And, I learned that with Alzheimer's. You know what? Why not make them happy? If you say something incorrect and you have Alzheimer's, and I say, no, Baron, that's wrong. No, this is what it really is. You've got it wrong and you got to get it right, right? That makes you feel bad. Mm-hmm. Why should I make you feel bad? Because you have no control over the fact that you're losing your memory and things are happening, right? So we just learned, my whole family, we would laugh and sing and just do things, and I created happy moments with mama videos, and people loved them, and people going through Alzheimer's loved them. And it was just because showing a happy side of life in spite of negative circumstances. So life was happening, but we chose to have a great life. And believing that God's not done with me yet is believing that I still have a lot of influence over others, whether that means another day,
right?
Whether that means another week or 20 years from now.
Which is actually the title of your 5th chapter.
That's right.
Yep. And I do have to tell you your 6th one, challenges provides opportunities to grow.
I love that one. That's so spot on.
One door closes, 10 more open.
Yeah,
Amen,
right.
sister.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so true. And, we don't grow through being comfortable.
No.
In fact, being comfortable is one of the worst things that can happen to you because you get comfortable and you get really just like not a lot happens. And so.
Well, and I always say that there's never a stable time in life. Either you're growing or you're decaying.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at fruit, it's either growing or it's rotting.
That's exactly
And so
true.
when you think you have a stable point, that's not really the case. You're actually going backwards.
I have this whole last 3.5 years, my knowledge and my growth has accelerated, 100-fold in how to take care of myself and how to deal with certain things and how to overcome tougher mindsets and tougher experiences. And so I've learned so much and I've become better. So now, you know what? I mean, I'm a big fan of pre-deciding. So I don't know if you know who Craig Groeschel is, but he's a huge pastor and author. Based out of Life Church in Oklahoma, and they're huge. Anyway, he's a big author, hangs out with John Maxwell, people like that. And he talks about pre-deciding how you're going to react. And this is what I do when I go in. We were talking about this earlier. When I go in for a scan, going for an MRI PET scan, I'm expecting good results.
Yeah.
But I have pre-decided how I'm going to react if I don't get good results and they tell me. Not because I think it's going to happen, but I want to know ahead of time, what am I going to do if this happens?
Yeah.
So I've already pre-decided that I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to keep a good perspective, and I'm going to hit it head on, whatever that means.
Yeah.
If it means prayer, I'll hit it head on with prayer. If it means going to a new treatment, we'll hit it head on. We'll do the treatment, whatever it is. I'm going to be all in with that. And I'm going to live every day like it's my last in a good way.
Yeah.
I think that's a good life perspective. If you live every day like it's your last, you're going to get the most out of it. And why not live that way? Because if you think, I got tons of time left, like when you're young, I've got years left. And then next thing you know,
You don't.
You were like 15, and next thing you know, I'm celebrating my 60th birthday.
Yes.
What?
And where did it all go?
Where did it all go? My kids are all grown up. My little teeny baby is 35 years old, I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it just happens so
it's-
fast. So
Talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Mine's,
sitting over here like my kids remind me every day.
it's bizarre. I got a boy that just graduated lineman school and graduated high school 6 months prior to that. It's like time. The older we get, the quicker it goes.
It does.
I truly feel like
Faster and
that's,
faster and faster.
yeah, like slow down.
Well, and it, the funny thing is, it doesn't go faster. We know this, but it doesn't go faster. But our perspective of time goes faster.
Yeah.
So again, it all relates to perspective. So there's ways to slow down your perspective too.
Okay.
And this is what I've learned. Another place where I've grown. And that is, and not all of this is in every chapter, but this is just me. And so this is all about me. And so some of this you'll find in the book, some of you won't. I'll have to write another book. When you slow down life a little bit and you give yourself time and you don't rush so much and you don't do so much, I found out when I was flat on my back. So after my first surgery on my foot, I couldn't walk on it for 6 weeks.
That's a long time.
For a person like me that knew me beforehand is like going, this is insane. Russ cannot sit for a week, much less 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So, but I learned.
Had to have been the hardest 6 weeks for you.
Oh, I'm telling you. But what I did was I learned that there was so much I could do, even though I couldn't walk. So my bed was my desk. I still live streamed from my bed. I did all kinds of crazy things because I could still do it from there.
Yeah.
And so I had all kinds of fun. I kept myself busy. I read a lot. Believe it or not, there was a TV right in front of me. It was hardly ever on. Some people say, I just binge all these things. Not that I never watched anything, but I'm not a huge TV watcher, honestly. And so I wouldn't do those things. I try to do productive things. I try to stay busy doing things. And then I would rest and take care of myself and do all those kind of things. And sometimes I had to rest because I was in really bad shape.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
your body was exhausted.
Yeah.
But
So,
it sounds like you pivoted very well while being down for those 6 weeks.
yeah, it really taught me so much.
I bet.
It was kind of like what COVID taught me, how to stay busy and how to do things. I mean, how to keep productive and do things. But at the same time, and also COVID and my cancer both taught me how to do what I said, relax, slow down life a little bit so that now life stretches just a little bit. It's not quite so busy.
Yeah.
This last weekend, I got away with my beautiful wife the weekend before here, and it went slow because we just hung out and
Yeah.
just had fun.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like flying by. It was
Right.
like right time because we were just relaxing and not doing a whole lot of things,
Yeah, which is nice. Sometimes
Oh,
it's nice
my
to
goodness.
just slow down and enjoy the day.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
and for busy people, it's hard to slow down sometimes. too.
Yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
Oh, my, and that is the hardest thing for me. So I would not have ever done that had it not been for catastrophic things in my life. COVID,
Right.
cancer, deal with my parents and all those kind of things. If those things would not have slowed me down, I wouldn't have done it, So
Mhm.
it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. And that's how I've grown.
I like the title of your one chapter here in chapter 7, Overcoming Morning Anxiety.
Yes.
And-
Well, I'm a huge fan of self-talk, positive self-talk. And so
Well,
we
and
all,
self-talk can go both ways.
I know. So we all wake up and I'll bet 100% of us at one point in our life, and most of us, most mornings, wake up and instantly our brain goes on.
Mm.
Well, maybe not instantly, slowly our brain goes on. And we're suddenly worrying about we have to get something done today. We got to get this is what I have to do at work in the morning. The kids need this. I need to do this. This week I have to get this done. And all this anxiety rushes into our brain.
Were you in my head this morning?
It is just like, so I have learned how to intentionally, positively change that in me and what I do. And I've actually talked about this in both books, and that is I do 3 things every morning. First thing I get up, I'm thankful. I just start praising God and thanking God. I'm thankful for my beautiful wife, for my family. Just, when you're grateful and you're thankful, life warms up. And then I say, I've got this. I give myself a pep talk. You know what? Hey, no matter what I've got going on, I can do it. I've been given the talents and abilities to do what I need to do. I just need to take it easy, get out there, just take it one step at a time. And then number 3, I say, today's going to be awesome. And most people laugh when they hear I get up at 4 a.m. and they say, yeah, I am never saying life's going to be awesome at 4 a.m. And I say, you know what? I don't even tell those 3 things so you will do that. I tell you those 3 things to show you what I do so that you have an idea what you could do that would give you a positive start to the day.
Right.
So I do that before my feet hit the floor, and then I go directly to my office where I do prayer and meditation, and I do journaling, and then I do exercise. And so my whole morning starts very positively and on a non-anxiety level.
Yeah.
Stay away from social media, stay away from email, stay away from all that stuff. Get yourself started right, and that's going to be your secret.
Well, and
Reflection and gratitude.
Okay.
I can see where avoiding the negative. People get up in the morning and they go to Facebook or they go to the TV and look at the news and they're going to hit themselves with the negative right off the bat, where that creates more anxiety.
That's right. Well, and I've stopped watching. I'll be honest. People think I bury my head in the sand, but I stopped watching the news. Now, does that mean I know nothing? No, because you flip your computer on and Google's going to tell you the headlines or whatever happening. So I still know what's happening in the world, but I don't listen to them drone on and tell me what I should be thinking on the news about everything that's going on and how bad it is for life. I just skip that. And I don't watch any news. And so when I need something, I go look it up. Like I have a friend in Uganda, and he was talking about turmoil they're going through in their elections. So I went directly to the elections in Uganda, and I read a little bit about what was happening. So I know, so I'm informed on what's happening, so I can have a discussion with him on that.
But you're not getting some commentator's perspective on that situation.
Telling me what I should be thinking and all of that, which is all news is turned into.
Yeah.
I
actually just last night, my husband, he came in the room and turned on the TV and went straight to news. And I was like, I love you, but this is so negative all the time. Can we churn it? I'm really done with the news at this moment. Right. Yeah. And he was like, fair. So we watched Home Alone.
Yeah.
That is such a great thing too, because I'm telling you that whatever you think about before you go to bed. So this is the other thing, a good morning routine, but also a good routine before you go to bed. So my beautiful wife and I pray every night before we go to bed, and we read God's word before we go to bed. And that's the last thing that I read. If I go read a book, I read quite a bit now, so I might read a little bit of my book, but I still pick my Bible back up and I'll read a couple scriptures. I want to fill my mind with what I want to think about over the night. Yeah. And so everything, even in good books, sometimes there's crazy turmoil and things that might get you going like this. And so I slow myself down a little bit because, boy, you're going to dream about or think about whatever you put in your mind last. Yeah. And so if you're watching the news and stuff like that and you click it off and you go to bed, it's just like, good luck sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. So negative.
It's just going to be tenfold in the middle of the night, too.
Yeah.
So, well, we're almost out of time, Russ. Once again, book signing is today.
Today.
At 10 o'clock.
That's right.
In Albany.
And today's Saturday. 10 to 4 at Albany at the Willamette Valley Christian Supply in the Heritage Mall. And I'm telling you guys, I would love to see you. So please come by.
And he'll autograph the book for you, just like that.
I will autograph the book. You'll get my classic smiley face on there. And I'd love to see you. And you'll just love the other authors and the store. I mean, it's worth the trip.
It's a beautiful store. Yeah. Beautiful store.
It is.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it. Always words of wisdom.
Thank
say
you.
the least. Huge shout out to Venti's Cafe. Absolutely amazing food. The season, it's just been really rainy and dreary, and their grilled cheese sandwich with their basil tomato soup is so
That's become
good.
your go-to.
Yeah, well, my kids order it every time, and I'm like, "Can I have a bite?" And it's on sourdough bread. It's so delicious.
Yeah.
And they've got a few different options for it. I can't find it. Oh yeah, so they've got the vegan grilled cheese, and then they've got just the house grilled cheese, which has
Okay.
got like 4 different types of cheese. So definitely go check them out. And then they also do express catering. So they do group orders, they do box lunches, hot tray catering, corporate events, private home celebrations. You can rent out their beer vault or their restaurant, and then they also do office parties. So they're kind of they do it all, and they've got really, really good vegan options, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan.
Right downtown
And then they've
Salem.
also got meat proteins that are grass-fed, really good meat options as well.
Yeah.
Their burger patties are mushroom lentil patties, and they
wow.
are to die for.
Yeah.
You can get a beef patty. Don't get that wrong. You can get a beef patty there.
But the
their
lentil patty is really
mushroom
good.
patties, I love mushrooms. My husband's not a mushroom fan, and he tried one, and he was like, it's actually really, really, really good. So definitely go check them out. And we will be back next week
As the movement continues.